new face up here, I would like to welcome you. My name is Laura Brown. I'm an international school teacher who relocated to Berlin earlier this year from my home in Shenzhen, China. I am originally from the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and I am here kind of accidentally, have moved to Berlin, and I'm very happy to be here. So just like you all, in the year of 2020, I have experienced radical change in my life, and I have experienced this as well in my perspective this year. So with the occurrence of the global health and the racial pandemic that we have been experiencing, I have learned a lot about choosing my lens on life. So with that said, I'm very happy to be here in this space of learning with you all. I've come to understand that it's very important to spend my time and my energy to seek justice, rise to action, and to learn. So I'm here to do that with you all. I would like to thank wonderful Tom, who has been the person who really brought up this program. This presentation really was his conception, and I was happy to step in and keep that momentum for the Walk the Talk program. So with all of that said, let's get started. Let's set our intentions today to really be in a space of learning. I am by no means an expert, and I'm really here to learn with you. As a school teacher, I am really, really excited to be walking with you in this process and to be the action that we want to see. How do we identify white privilege? The Oxford English Dictionary defines white privilege as follows. It is the inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in society characterized by radical inequality and injustice. So, I want you to take a moment to really think of this idea of white privilege. We all have a perception of white privilege. We all have a story that we hold in our background, no matter what our background is, of this term, okay? What kind of stereotypes come of it? Are there any names that come to mind? I'd be happy to take any volunteers briefly. Does a name come to mind with this stereotype or this idea? Well, I know one comes to my mind. In my mind, the name that comes to mind is Karen. Karen is a name that comes to mind. And this is a result of really a sensationalized occurrence. It is the result of the rise of social media, and today we're going to investigate a little bit about the history behind this word and how the background of the history of racism have really formed how we perceive white privilege. So now we are going to take a moment. This video was taken in Central Park. This is a video of someone named Amy Cooper. Let's take a listen. So that, to me, my experience of that recording is pretty disturbing. I find it very difficult to watch, but necessary to watch. So at this point, I I'm a school teacher. I really like to get people up and talking. I'd like you to turn and talk to your neighbor, anyone that's close to you. I'm going to give you just a few moments to answer these questions. From your perspective, what is going on here? Further the conversation by saying, what do you see that makes you say that? And what more can we consider? What really is brought up for you by observing and seeing this recording? Quick question to everyone here. Raise your hand if you've seen this video before. Okay, so maybe about half of us, right? Yeah, absolutely. Her biases informed her reaction, certainly, yeah. All of our different observations show that we all have an individual relationship to race, absolutely. So it begs the question, what more can we consider? And we're here right now to be in education together, absolutely. All right, so we have some historical context and some more to consider on this matter. How an instance just like we just watched, you know, how she was informed, where she is coming from in society, and what we can do further. So we're going to listen to some experts here. We're going to listen to about 5 minutes of this, and then we're going to have some call to actions, and then we're going to get up and we're going to go walk to the Brandenburg Gate.
I'm Shireen Marisol Maraji, and this is Code Switch
from NPR.
As you could hear, there's actually quite a long history behind the occurrence that we're experiencing today. Racism, hate, it's not just going away, it's just changing forms. So, we need to consider where we are right now. The report, this NPR report, goes on to talk about that at this point in our history, our society has tools such as social media, sensational videos that are viral. The term Karen has now become a tool to call out white supremacy, to call out people who are using their perspective for hate. So we need to consider how we use these tools in the world and how we are going to use them in good and to really use them as best as we can. So a few calls to action and further learning. Again, you know, this is just a start. I am just starting as well. I oftentimes find myself in a space of, am I doing enough? How can I do better? Are we really making a difference? And you know, this is step by step. These are things that we can be doing in community. So I have 3 books here that I would really love to read, and I would love to read in community. There are some essays here, and there's also you know, some questions that you can be asking yourself. Every day, how does your race affect how you go out into the world? Does it affect how you vote? Does it affect you in a job interview? How does it affect you in buying a new car, buying a new home? These are things that we can do to check our privilege and check where we are, and to be having these conversations continuously. Because really, this is what we're up against. Systems of race are designed to dehumanize, demoralize, disempower, and disenfranchise. But the work that we can be doing is the work that brings us all together to humanize, inspire, empower, and engage. And that's my time. Thank you.
When the morning comes, when the
understand.